Hi, welcome to Pete's Toy Stories. From Super Soakers to My Little Pony to the All-Star Nintendo, we take on the 15 most iconic toys from the 80s, some of which may be worth a small fortune today. So if you have them lying around your loft or garage, then don't throw them away. Get on eBay and check out how much they're going for. Number 15, the Super Soaker. Who can't remember the Super Soaker? Many a fun summer's day in the garden, chasing your dad, mum, brother or sister, or all at once, around the garden trying to inflict as much water carnage as possible. Remember pumping the water bottle up for ages, for it to only last a few seconds before more pumping was needed. It was such a workout that the king of all water pistols developed more modern soakers with bigger backpacks and extra pressure for longer lasting water-based battles. Truly harmless fun and very popular. I have seen that even Michael Jackson considered it one of his favourite toys. Number 14. The Atari. The main rival to the Nintendo, the most iconic thing about the Atari was a joystick with a red button at the top left hand corner and a simple design that held its form for many years. The familiar cartridge system with a loader at the top of the unit enabled very popular games to be played. Such games included the very popular Pac-Man, the iconic circle face eating dots and getting chased by Blinky, Inky, Pinky and Clyde introduced arcade games to the masses. Asteroids was a popular game with a small spaceship travelling around space trying to avoid asteroids while shooting and destroying other spacecrafts. Space Invaders featured the tank to shoot the aliens approaching, with fortifications providing protection, which slowly eroded as they got shot. Once all the aliens were destroyed, then the game has advanced to the next level. Game on! Number 13. My Little Pony was an extremely popular toy featuring magic ponies of all shapes, sizes and colours, and it inspired the imagination of millions of kids. The hair could be combed, the huge amount of accessories and buildings allowed a whole new world to be made, much at the expense of mum and dad's bank account of course. Number 12. The pogo ball offered hours of fun, and as a result an amazing thigh and cardio workout to boot. The user placed one foot on a plastic rim around the ball, and once they were ready, they placed the other foot on the opposite side and brought both sides to level. The user then had to maintain balance, otherwise a wipeout would occur, which provided many a fun moment. Once balance was achieved though, then hours of hopping could then commence. This never took off as a commuting tool though. I wonder why. Number 11. The Mastermind board game was designed to be played by two players. One player would place 4 coloured pins behind the screen, in any order they chose. The second player, who sat opposite the first player, then has 9 chances to guess the sequence of the colours. The first player provides feedback during each of the 9 rounds to indicate if they have made the correct placement. Not sure why it was called Mastermind though, as it didn't really involve deep knowledge of a certain subject or significant general knowledge, but it was entertaining nevertheless. Number 10. The Rubik's Cube. This iconic design is still going strong and features many different spin-offs, although the original is always the best, and in this case it generally is. The idea is very simple and inspired a generation to take to the cube to see who was the fastest at solving a puzzle. For those who have lived a sheltered lifestyle and have not come across this product, well, the squares and the cube rotated on 4 axes, with only 6 centre squares remaining stationary. The object was to get a randomly scrambled cube with colours all over the place, to having each side containing only one colour. A whole industry has emerged of competition on who can achieve the fastest time, with the world record currently standing at an amazing 5.55 seconds. I can't believe that, but it's true, so if you want to smash that record, I suggest you get starting fast hands now. Number 9. The Transformers was by far the coolest action figure ever, which explains why this is the origin of one of the best movie series ever made. The cartoon accompanied the toy set, but it was a unique concept. You could have a plain truck 1 minute and then transform it into a robot the next. Hours would be spent transforming from car to robot and vice versa. Even battery-powered toys were later rolled out to add to the amazing enduring spectacle that is Transformers. Go Autobots, you need to save the world. Number 8. Mr. Potato Head. Having been made famous by Toy Story movies, Mr. Potato Head was a simple figure back in the day, and is arguably the most famous toy around. Via little plastic potatoes, kids could add different items to the face to make new and interesting characters. The makers even created a Mrs. Potato Head and added an amazing array of accessories such as a boat, a car and some props. Today, you can pick up a Star Wars Mr. Potato Head. Such is the success of the toy. Number 7. The Nintendo Game Boy. The green screen, the buttons, the 8-bit soundtrack, and Mario. Yes, the Game Boy is instantly recognised the world over as taking mobile gaming to the masses. This started the era of a technical revolution throughout the 80s and 90s, but the vast array of games on the Game Boy such as Super Mario Land, Tetris and Zelda got kids, and therefore mum and dad, happy ever after. Maybe the music also inspired the latest craze of electronic dance music, as this item was a complete game changer and will never be replaced. Number 6. Barbie. Barbie, oh Barbie, what a sweetie. The model doll was a monster market success from the makers Mattel, and dates back to the 60s. Though once the 80s hit with colour TV, advertising and snazzy graphics, the doll became an instant cultural hit. Boys had their Action Man and girls had Barbie, but secretly the boys were just jealous of all the accessories and kit that you could get with Barbie. Number 5. Magna Doodle. The drawing tool recently has enjoyed a bit of a resurgence of late, but what a pain it is to try and draw with a stupid thing, right? I mean, 1 minute you're drawing and the next minute a minor error and you have to get the item and use the wipe at the bottom of the screen and erase the whole picture before starting again. Only after hours and hours and hours of practice were wonderful doodles actually created, with the favourites being drawing a pet, writing your name or drawing a house. Now it just seems an expensive item to write the weekly shopping list, but at least it's still going. Number 4. Jenga. Jenga, a game of big balls and mighty wits with those little wooden blocks. Today you can get mighty giant Jenga that feature huge blocks the size of books, but back in the day, after some duck à l'orange, champagne and after 8, you take to the lounge, set up a game of Jenga. You remove the blocks, taking it in turn to ensure the structure stays. The person loses if they remove a block and the structure falls down. The loser also has to pick up the bits and arrange them into another tower, or they could just simply get back in a taxi and leave it to the host to pick it up. Nice. Number 3. The Glowworm, released in the 80s with plush materials and flying clothes, featured a worm dressed in pyjamas. The toy featured a battery system that enabled the vinyl head to be lit up when the toy doll was squeezed, strangely given the name Glowworm. The toy was later banned, being unsafe for kids, but when it was around it lit the bedrooms of many houses. Number 2. Polly Pocket. These fashion dolls, created by Mattel in the 1980s, were only 1 inch tall and were made of hard plastic and had little magnets so you could attach them to various accessories that are available. They inspired millions of kids worldwide to get creative, and you make unique worlds within worlds and design where you could move the dolls around in the enclosure and act out an infinite number of stories. Fantastic. Number 1. The Nintendo Entertainment System. The little grey box of love. This console inspired a generation of gamers and developers alike. The cool controllers, mirroring the Game Boy, did away with the joystick design and introduced an ergonomic design that kept happy thumbs forever for the guys playing it. Super Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, and who can forget the awesome Double Dragon, the precursor to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Eventually the system was replaced by the Super Nintendo, but the legacy had already been set. Now how much homework didn't get done as a result?